Today I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to make a skeleton farm, which also has an item sorter that gets rid of all the junk, in which you're able to keep either bones or arrows, whichever you prefer. Also for those with an existing farm, that looks like this. Here's everything you're going to need for the farm, like 9 hoppers, 7 chests, your redstone stuff like a torch, a repeater, a comparator, 3 redstone dust. You need stuff like 41 bones and 4 blocks. Any blocks work. And down here, I recommend getting this stuff as well if you want to make an offshoot just to get rid of all the other stuff you do not want. Here's kind of like the basic design, they fall down from the mob spawner, they get killed here. And this is like your auto sorter, which for me is just bones, because that's the only thing I would want. Quickly, for those who don't actually know how to make this real quick, you find your skeleton spawner within the dungeon, and then you dig a 9x9 block around it. And then of course you add your water, like this one in the corner, which I actually have to add another one in a second, and then the other row beside it. You see there's an issue right here where it isn't flowing, and that's because I need to add one more water right here, and then boom, that is now done and ready. All the skeletons spawn, and then they flow into this corner block over here. For those wondering how far a skeleton can fall until it dies, it's 23 blocks, so at most dig down 22, but I still do not recommend this. Alright, let me show you quick. Oh, that guy had armor. Alright, kill this one, and then he didn't die from the fall damage. I killed him with my sword, so I break one more block, and let's see. He does die, so it is 22 to 23. Now, of course, you're going to want to make a 4x4 right here where all the skeletons fall into, and then you want to make your 2 chests right here, place them like that, and then have all the hoppers feed into them. Next, go ahead and place your slabs on top of the hoppers here. This stops the XP from falling into them and getting stuck. Next, we're going to go ahead and make the disposal area, which is technically optional, but I strongly recommend it. Either way, you are going to need this chest right here. And finally, you place your lava here and make sure it's contained, and this is what the disposal area should look like combined with the rest of the farm. Next, you want to go down about 3 blocks from the dispenser. This is where you make your remaining chest, and then you have 2 hoppers going into the side like that. Next, you want to go ahead and place a comparator like that, and this is where the next hopper will face into. Make sure when you place this hopper right here, it faces into the comparator itself, which is really important, like this right here. Make sure the 2 hoppers below it face into the chest itself. Now it's time for the rest of the redstone. The second block underneath the comparator you want to break and then place your redstone torch. On the other side you want to break that block and then make sure that the repeater faces into it. And then above where the comparator is, you want to place your redstone, you want to go 2 out and then break that block and have it go down 1. And like that, it's complete. Now it's time to go ahead and set up the sorter, which is super simple. You want to use your 4 blocks like I said earlier you want to get, and then you want your 41 bones or whatever you want to item sort into your chests. If you put in more than 41, it'll just trickle down, the rest of it going into the actual chest itself all the way down to 41. And like that, your item sorter is now complete. This will keep all the bones that you get from the farm, while it won't take anything else. On the other side over here by the dispenser, you basically want to do the exact same redstone setup, except there is one major difference. Which is instead of a comparator, you want to just place a redstone dust, and that makes your auto clock, which basically dispenses everything into the lava. And with that, the farm is pretty much done, and this is how you want to sort out, say, all the bones, or if you want to do arrows instead, you just do 41 arrows instead of bones. After that, cover everything you want to cover if you want to even do that, or just leave it open. Make sure you also have a stairway from here to the kill spot. Now, if you dig too far down, of course the skeletons won't be able to spawn because you're too far out of range, so you're going to need an AFK room like this right next to it if you did that. It looks like I forgot to go 1 more block up, so I go ahead and dig that out, and then the skeletons could spread around. Now you kill them all. I know it looks like all the stuff is just getting thrown out to me, but honestly most of it isn't. It's just a few things that are. Now, every single item collected here will go into the dispenser, which goes into the lava, except for the bones, which is what I want to keep. Now, if you did arrows instead, you'll keep the arrows, and the bones will go into the lava. Here you can see all the bones that I got. Now, here's what it looks like on the surface for those who are having issues following along. Everything here is pretty much the exact same, as you can see like this. Now don't forget to actually set up the hopper that faces into the comparator like this, with 41 bones, or 41 arrows, or whatever for whatever. The rest of it is pretty simple, and which that's all there is to this. Of course, let me go ahead and kill all these skeletons once again, so you can actually see what's going on. Now let's go ahead and review what we just got right now. All the stuff is getting funneling in, and then here's where all the junk is going, though I forgot to do the machine, of course, for that, which I'll do in a second, and then all the bones is being deposited into the chest. Here's the part that I forgot to do back, which is also really simple, and with that, all the stuff is now being deposited into the lava, which just burns away, and then you never have to deal with it. Now technically a dropper would be better for this, but I kind of forgot about that until now, and they basically do the exact same thing anyways. If you do experience lag from it, then switch to a dropper. That was my tutorial. I hope it helped you in some way. Anyways though, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later.